still stays. We fought it out through the long, hard days. From spring ball till the final down. Blood, sweat, and tears on hallowed ground. From the trenches to the long end zone. Joe Wilson Field, that's what greatness shows. Cleats on the turf, hearts in the fight. We gave it all on the Friday night lights. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We hit the field to make our hometown proud. Every touchdown, all the records we broke. Legends rose while pretenders choke. Referee whistle and the place stops cold. Band's too loud, that's what we told. Coaches calls and the fans loud roar. Wintersville, we're all living for. Replays burn on the screen so bright. Heroes rise in the heat of the night. Bridgman jamming and the bass gets low. Welcome to the palace, welcome to the show. Hear that Viking horn, it's calling loud. We hit the field to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Roll the tape, let the big plays fly. Call the shots that lit the sky. Win or lose, we bet our soul. That's the heartbeat, that's the goal. Now the final whistles ringing strong. We raise our voices, sing it loud and long. Touchdowns made and the Giants fell. This is the story we'll always tell. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We break it down to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Crimson and white, the standard we fly. Thursday night show got the whole town high. LG on the mic, set the tone just right. Coaches moves, how we win the fight. Professors knowledge, let's keep it gritty. Make the call, Vikings by today. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We break it down to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Victory song in the afterglow. It's the Viking Nation. Bam, bam. Welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, that has got to be my favorite part of the whole song. Victory song and the afterglow. It's the Viking Nation Live. Welcome to the show. Good evening, Viking Nation. We have talked about it. We've counted down the Fridays. You and I have counted down the Fridays all season long, all off season, I should say. We watched spring practice. We've followed summer workouts. We've talked about the preseason. But now the wait's over. Tomorrow night, those lights come on at the Concrete Palace. The band is going to be rocking. The Georgia Bridgemen are going to come onto the field with their sneak. The Viking Nation starts filling those stands, and the 2026 Lowndes Vikings officially begin their season. So what's going to happen tomorrow night? Jenkins comes to town. Jenkins High School. Lowndes versus Jenkins. Opening night. I'm trying to build this up as much as I can, right? Because it's Jenkins. And tonight on the Viking Nation Live, we're going to get you ready for it tomorrow night. So let me bring in the professor. Professor, how are you?
Hey, looking good, feeling good.
Wait a minute. Are you in Viking paradise?
Already. I'm already there, man.
Already there. Got sporting obviously the Lowndes shirt. You got the freshly newly minted cap, Valhalla on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, let me give a shout out to Freddie Saunders down there at Tylertown. He gave us a couple of them. And look, this is it. This is it right here, man. So
that's awesome. That's
You know,
awesome.
I'm gonna have a new hat every year. Every year I get a new Viking hat. My wife's probably telling me, "Hey, what you gonna do with all these hats?" Not another one, but you know what? She knows I love these Vikings, and she knows that's my school. And even though she did graduate from that school that used to be on Forest Street, you're right. I'm already in mid-season form. Um,
I love it, man. I love it when you say that.
you know, she's okay with it because now
Yeah,
she wears that crimson and white. So
there you go. There you
let's
go.
go.
So let me tell you who else is ready for opening kickoff, opening night tomorrow night. And that is Robert Lindsay. He says it's time to awaken the nation. Robert, you stole my line. But I don't care because I'm just as excited as you are, Robert. And you are exactly right. It's time to awaken the nation. It's time for some Lowndes County Viking football at the Concrete Palace. He says, go, Vikings, go.
Let's go. Uh,
Hey, Robert Lindsay, he asked you in the comments, Professor, he says, where can I get one of those hats? Say it again.
Freddie Saunders, down there at Titletown. He,
Is that Titletown Tees?
yep,
Okay.
yep. He he prints them up himself, and it's homegrown. He's a Viking, and go support. Get you one of these hats.
Yeah. So I don't know. I suspect, I don't know this for sure. So don't hold this against me if this is wrong, but I suspect you could probably pick up that hat, the Viking merchandise in the concession area at the stadium tomorrow night, where the Touchdown Club runs a fantastic merchandise shop. So you could probably pick up some hats and other
Yep.
things there as well.
Exactly, exactly. If you're looking for the plyboy hats, too, they got different things. So, but Freddie has been a long time supporter of the show. He watches the show faithfully,
Yep.
and he was so gracious to give us some of these hats, and I'm
Hey,
aware.
we're happy to return the favor, man. Thank you so much to Titletown Tees. Listen, Professor, preseason's finished. Now everything counts, right? And that's the difference between a couple of weeks ago in the scrimmage and tomorrow night. You,
Exactly, exactly. And I always tell people like whether it's good or bad, right? Um, just look at the fundamentals,
yeah,
see if those are there, right? That's what you take away from those scrimmages. If if it's bad, then hey, if just scrimmage, put it behind you. But if it's good, don't put too much stock in it, right? Because it's early in the season,
yeah,
and I always like when you asked me earlier, I want to see how consistent this team is, and let's hopefully everything rolls over and they
yeah,
just keep building.
absolutely. Hey, the president of the Lowndes Viking Touchdown Club is checking in with us tonight. Luke Bush, glad to have you on the show. CC says, finally. And we agree with you, Luke, when you
Yes,
exclaim, finally. The season begins. The team has put in the work. The coaching staff is pouring all they have into the Vikings. The excitement is real. Go Vikings.
yes, sir.
We can't agree with you more, man. We can't wait. We can't wait. So, you can learn, Professor, a lot of things from a scrimmage. You can evaluate players, you can experiment, but tomorrow night, you got to put a number in the win column or a number in the loss column.
Yeah, because like, listen, I'm telling you, Jenkins that's not coming down driving 4 hours on the bus
Yeah,
uh, to lose, right? I don't know if y'all remember the last year's game. Jenkins, it was what 42-21 or something like that. But after that game, I believe Jenkins won the remaining of their games, made the playoffs. I think last year. So Jenkins is a solid team. They lost a lot of production, so it'll be a different team. But we'll see. They got some size up front, and I honestly, I can't wait. I just can't wait to walk in there. And unlike last week, we got the Bridgman back. The
yep.
Bridgman will be back, rocking. So we're gonna be swag surfing and carrying on. And I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Armand, you mentioned the record of Jenkins last year. They lost 2 games last year.
2 games.
They lost the first game to us,
Hmm.
and then their final game, which was in the quarterfinals. So
Yeah.
this is a team, I'm gonna call them a team of potential
Hmm.
because they have the potential to hurt our feelings if we take them for granted.
Exactly. Exactly, man. They got some talent. They probably don't have the depth, but they've got some talent because you just don't, you know, make it to the quarterfinals by luck.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so
Absolutely. And I want to remind everybody last year, you said it just a couple minutes ago, Jenkins scored 20 on us
Hmm.
last year. Did you know that there were only 3 other teams that scored more than they did on us last year?
Yep. North Gwinnett, Valdosta,
Valdosta and Richmond Hill.
and Richmond Hill. Yep.
And Valdosta and Richmond Hill only scored 23, and
Yeah.
Jenkins scored 20. So they have the ability to put the ball in the end zone, and especially early on against our young defense. Coach Carter said it himself. You basically got 4 players on the defensive side of the ball that's had any meaningful snaps. That means 7 untested players plus any type of rotational
Hmm.
guys, right? So that's a lot of untested, although really, really good talent. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow night, first and foremost. How does that defense hold up against Jenkins?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be rocking. I think they're gonna come out. The butterflies. They gotta get the butterflies out because this game counts, right?
Yep.
This is they want to put up good film. This game counts, and I think that hopefully they come in composed. I don't want to take any edge off, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
compose it. Keep it all together. And because last year there was a lot of it was a very chippy game against
Mhm.
Jenkins, and I'm pretty sure they haven't forgotten, right? I, and I'm pretty sure they haven't forgotten the ride back, the ones that were on the team. So they coming down here that they want to get their lick back, but I got a feeling these Vikings gonna punch you right back in the mouth again. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what did we I'm trying to think of, how to ask this question. You know, I wanna ask you some questions about the offense, okay?
mhm.
Last year's Lowndes team could score.
Yeah.
We know that, right? And they scored a bunch. But every season creates new questions, and this is no different. What did you see against veterans that you believe is going to translate into the regular season for this offense and their ability to score?
Oh, the run game. The run
Okay.
game. The run game. It's like it's all right. A lot of people get how can I say it? What's the best way to put this? You look at the big runs, right? Mason had a big run.
You're
KT
talking
had a
explosive plays.
Yeah, explosive plays. Everybody looks at the explosive plays, but it's those plays that's constantly getting you 3 to 4 yards, right? And I get it. Nobody wants to go back to the three yards and cloud of dust wing T days. That's not what I'm saying.
Could
But when you're
is it more proper with turf nowadays? Is it more proper to say 3 yards and a cloud of rubber
rubber,
rubber
no,
pellets?
that just don't sound right. It might be proper, but it doesn't sound like right. When we get off the show, I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna ask you a question after the show
Okay.
about proper terms because one term that's out there that I think is more offensive than what the preferred and accepted term is.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not gonna talk about it on here.
Gotcha, gotcha.
We
I
might
can't
get
wait. I have no idea what you're gonna ask me.
but yeah, but the 3 yards in a cloud of pellets or whatever you want to call it. But those are the yards that tells you when you have those plays, that's telling you, hey, is my offensive line getting the push that we need, right?
Yeah.
When you start to get those 5, 7 yards, that means your offensive line is actually getting to the next level, and you're able to get those. Last week we had a lot of plays where we got 7, 8 yards, whether it was Mason. Or Robertson or whoever was back there running the ball. We were able to consistently move to move the ball. And of course we had a couple of deep shots
Yeah.
that came through. But how often we're not gonna be I don't think we're gonna throw the ball 40 times a game. So what according to Coach Carter, what he wants to do is he says he wants to be a running team that passes when they want to, not when they have to. And I think you're gonna see some more passing plays, but that's really just to keep them balanced and
Right.
beyond the chain. So
Yeah. So here's the question I keep coming back to. Been thinking about it for the last 2 weeks since the scrimmage. Okay. What is going to be the identity of Lowndes' offense? Is it going to be a heavy, heavy, heavy run? Is it going to be more balanced? In other words, what do they want their opponents to prepare for every week?
I don't know.
Too early to tell?
I really don't know. We'll know. I'll say come
Okay.
week 3 or 4, that they'll settle into identity because you just never know. Like early on, we just pounded the ball. We just
Yeah.
ran the ball a lot, and then when Jace came back, it was a lot of QB heavy running. Mason was still in there doing his thing, and then the big plays by Bubble. Um, Tomorrow night, two of the three won't be there, right? So what's it gonna be? Do you protect those young QBs
Yeah.
who are gonna be out there? And how you do that, you make them some easy throws and you establish a run game. So
With the youth of the defense, will we see any tempo on the from the offense tomorrow night, or will they just be methodical marching down the field?
I don't know. Like we didn't see any tempo last
Man, you
Friday.
keep saying you don't know. What do we pay you for?
Look, baby. But no, but it's unknown. Like we didn't see it last week. We haven't seen it much in the past as far as tempo. I think with a young defense, what you want to do, the tempo that you want to kind of slow it down. You don't want to keep them out there on the field. Now, of course, the big plays are gonna might be there, so you might have a quick turnaround. But
Yeah.
you kind of want to keep your defense off of the field as much as possible, right? Because that means you got the ball and you're scoring.
Yeah.
So I really don't know as far as tempo goes. I mean, expect to see something around that 4 minute 3 minute offense if we get that if we get that opportunity. But like I said, who knows? I don't get a chance to go to practice. So
I have mixed feelings on that, whether or not you should protect the defense as much as you can in these early games. And here's what I mean. Obviously, it's a young defense,
yeah,
and they've got to learn through reps. So, one thought is to if you score fast and you go high up tempo and you speed yourself down the field, you put the defense back out there pretty quickly. And youth, inexperience, and fatigue could lead to some bad outcomes,
yeah,
right? So the other side of the coin is in these early games when we don't expect the other team to have a lot of depth, to have a lot of staying power in the third and fourth quarter. Okay. One thought is to go up tempo to pressure test your defense and get them as ready for a faster paced game come region time.
I agree with both
Yeah.
points of logic. I don't even have any pushback towards it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how much we're on the same page. Like, you want to get as if you want to get them as many game reps as possible, right? You want to put them in all kind of situations. You want to be second and long,
Yeah.
third and short, maybe second and short to see how they react to it. But at the same time, if you're going tempo, you know, and with what Coach Carter has been telling us, hey, we want to run the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast the tempo is going to be. I don't expect them to run the play clock down to 2 or 3 seconds.
Right.
No, but I I I would expect like a moderate tempo.
Yeah,
You know,
so what you're saying is you don't expect them to snap the ball every 8 seconds, but
no,
you do expect them to, um, you know, nowadays, modern day football, you don't huddle up or anything like that. You expect them to snap the ball with 10, 12 seconds left on the
yeah,
play.
because and that's also telling me how prepared the kids are and
Yeah,
how prepared the coaching staff is. Because if it's intentional to wait, till you got 3 seconds left, that's fine. But if every time you're out there and the players are looking confused and the play clock's dwindling down, that shows that you're not prepared. I think this team is going to be well prepared, and I think you're going to see a lot of run. You're going to see some passes, but to keep the balance. But I think more than likely, look, this might be the Mason Woods show
yeah,
Friday night.
I think so. I think so. Listen, let's flip the page to Jenkins.
Hmm.
Jenkins comes to the Concrete Palace now. So we're going to turn the page. Preseason's officially behind us. Tomorrow night, we got the Warriors from Jenkins coming, and we know this opponent. We've played them twice in the last 2 seasons. We talked about the outcome last year, 43-20. So on paper, Lowndes is going to be expected to win this football game. But that's what I want to issue the first warning of the season. I'm going to make a bold statement. Lowndes cannot play the uniform. They have to play this football team
Yes.
because this football team has the ability to score. They have the ability to win football games. We saw that last year, right?
Mhm.
So that's why I say you can't play this uniform. You got to play the football team. And so, with that said, um, what do, do you expect Lowndes to go up by 2 touchdowns early in this game?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I expect probably going in halftime it might be 21, 21-6, maybe 21-7, something like
Okay.
that. And then I expect Lions to kind of pull away in the third quarter. And, you know, I expect the JV to get some reps.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm expecting. But I don't think it's gonna be early where it's 35 to nothing at halftime. I don't really expect that.
So when do you expect the younger guys to come in? I mean, we
Last,
can both agree that the younger guys are going to come in this game. When do you expect Lowndes to send in the cavalry with the younger kids?
last 8 minutes.
Okay.
Last 7 minutes of the game.
Okay. Um, I'm going to ask you a different type of question. Okay.
All right.
What's the one thing Jenkins could do tomorrow night that would make you uncomfortable?
Oh, run right up the middle.
Ooh.
Run
Why do
right
you
up the
say,
middle.
why do you say that?
Because I think we talked about it at nauseum last week about the team speed, right?
Yeah.
Um, but if they run right up the middle and they're getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, that's gonna make me uneasy because that means our defensive line and linebackers aren't doing a good job, right? And that's going to be the one that's gonna be like, oh, okay, we gotta work that, and then also big plays like last week there were no laps in coverages, right? But last year, the year before last, and prior to that,
Yeah.
um, a lot of blown assignments, blown coverage that led to big plays.
Yeah.
So I want if that's happening early, that's gonna give me some concern.
I think you're right, man. So there's two things that I think Jenkins, if they were able to do this, could make us uncomfortable. One is not just hit an explosive play, but hit an early, deadly explosive play.
Yeah,
Whether it's a long touchdown run, whether it's a long pass, even if it's not a touchdown, 20, 30-yard pass, um, catches a kid out of position, that kind of stuff. And how do we handle it? Do we panic with the young kids
yeah,
or do we keep our composure? Okay. The other thing is, what if this is a long shot, but what if Jenkins keeps us from establishing our running game?
that's and look, we got Abram Eisenhower returning, anchoring that line. You got Cam Brown on the other
Yeah.
side. We have some experience on the offensive line. If our offensive line is not able to get push
Yeah.
right against this Jenkins team, and listen, Jenkins is stout on the lines of scrimmage,
They
right?
got
They
some big kids.
they got some big kids. They got some 300 pounders, some 250, 270. They got some big kids out there. But if by the middle of the game, and we're still not able to push it,
Yeah.
then that's gonna be something that's gonna make everybody just scratch their head. Also, on the flip side of that, you look at the offensive side of the ball. For Lowndes, if Lowndes isn't able to develop a consistent running game, not excuse me, if Jenkins is able to get extended drives, right?
Yeah.
Like like I don't expect every out them to be three and out every time, right? But if they're able to get to have some extended drives,
Yeah.
man, it's gonna get some cause for concern. So
So when you say extended drives, you're talking about crossing midfield.
crossing midfield, yeah,
Yeah. That psychologically, that does a lot to a young team,
yeah,
allowing a team not just to cross midfield, but if they do it consistently.
Hmm.
Yeah, you get young players starting to doubt themselves. I don't think that's going to happen very often tomorrow night, but you're saying, what if it does?
Yeah, what if it does, right? We'll be over there like, everybody be in the stands like this, right? Right. Everybody be saying, "What are we doing? What are we doing?"
All of a
But
sudden, popcorn sales go up.
I
Boy.
know, right? Everybody's on the edge of the seats. But I expect the game to be competitive early, right? But I think Lounge just has too much talent, too
Yeah,
much depth, um, for this to be a close game.
gotcha.
But at the same time, nobody expected North Gwinnett to go up there and jump out to a 36 point lead, a 26 point lead, and then hold on to it against Buford. So
Yeah,
nobody expected that.
yeah,
So what I will say is, don't take this Jenkins team lightly.
yeah. Well, you didn't mean to say Buford. You meant to say Grayson.
Grayson, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, Grayson, yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the next half of the show, the second half of the show, let's take a couple of minutes here to thank our sponsors. And so our sponsors for this season, Kyle Conger and his group at Corbin Wealth Management, they specialize in financial planning, investment management, insurance planning. If you are approaching retirement like I am, I've got 6 years left in the workforce, and so I'm laser focused on getting all my ducks in a row. If you need help getting your financial ducks in a row, you owe it to yourself at least to give Kyle a call. Kyle Conger at Corbin Wealth Management. You got some other fantastic sponsors. You got Timmy, our buddy Timmy Neesmith at A Shade of Perfection. He does a fantastic job of providing shades, window coverings, blinds, that kind of stuff. And he is a longtime Viking. Fantastic, loyal Viking fan. Thank you so much to Tim Neesmith and A Shade of Perfection. And we've got these guys, the Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta. I was just talking to someone earlier today that is suffering from migraines. And I said, you need to go see Josh Batson and Justin Haskin at the Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta, because these guys have been the experts in migraine medicine for the last decade in Valdosta. So give them a shot. They're located basically right across the street from Starbucks, next to the battery source. Okay, so that gives you an idea of where they are. So we've got Jason Castleberry. He owns Case Tree Service. If you have the need to trim some trees back, remove some trees to prepare for hurricane season, because you never know when another storm. Listen, last several years, we didn't expect two major hurricanes to strike Valdosta, but it did, and it left all kinds of damage in its wake. So if you have some cleanup that needs to be done, give Jason Castleberry at Case Tree Service a shout. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors. All right, so we got some good and loyal sponsors, man. Look at you with your Georgia Bridgman.
Yes,
What you trying to say?
important. They are going to be very, very important.
The 12th man?
The 12th man. And listen, I'm gonna say this. How early do you think that warning is gonna come?
Um, I have always wondered the Bridgman reputation for interrupting the game with their loud sound, okay, is legendary by now. And I have no idea how every coach in the state of Georgia doesn't take that warning the first drive of the game. Get it over with. Take your medicine early and get it over with. What in the world are you waiting until the third quarter for?
Oh yeah. Chase says within the first 5 minutes.
I believe it. I believe it. Speaking of Chase, we welcome our buddy Chase Garnto. He's over at Valwood with Smash now. We miss you, buddy, and thanks for checking into the show. So, Armand, you sent me a graphic
Hmm.
that breaks this game down. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I'm going to ask you to to elaborate on what we see here.
All right. So I'm gonna be looking away because I cannot read this
Okay, go ahead.
on this screen.
Yeah.
But so pretty much what this is, it tells us, gives us our two teams, breaks it down by position group, and tells us who has the edge. And this is something that I told you guys. I promised you I was gonna be more prepared this week, right? And even though you're still gonna get my Lounge by 50, but it's also gonna have uh, uh, my actual prediction, right?
Okay.
So that's what
Wait,
this
wait, wait, wait,
this
wait. I think we just broke some ground here.
yeah.
So there is a difference between your actual prediction and Lounge by 50?
It's all the same. If we win by 1 on 100, it still feels like 50. So
Got it. Got it.
that's how it is, right? But if you ask me on the street and you see me walking around, it's gonna be Lounge by 50. Listen, we're shorter man here, so I still have to be optimistic, but still have to be realistic. So
That's right.
yeah, so when we get to the graphic and we start to look at it, you see Jenkins coming from Savannah, and when you look at the quarterback position, now when I wrote this, I did not know Jace wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Right, I found out probably like some of you are finding out just recently, but then again, if he pops up and plays, hey, we're going to be more than ecstatic. But the quarterback situation,
Yeah.
Jenkins lost their starting quarterback, so I just feel like we got a more proven quarterback room. However, we've seen Parker and Robertson come out there and handle their duties pretty well. When it comes to running back, I'm telling you right now, best in the state, Mason Woods. Mason Woods is going to be, actually, I should have circled that and highlighted that, right? I
Okay.
think Mason Woods is going to be the difference maker in this game. When it comes to the receiver position, we got KT Thomas, we got Weidinger. Those are going to be your linchpins in the passing game. Offensive line, we've already talked about Cam Brown and Eisenhower. They're going to, listen, you got to Georgia commit there. Georgia didn't come down to Valdosta. Kirby didn't land the plane, not the plane, but the helicopter, um, for no reason. Eisenhower is as advertised, and they're gonna be they're gonna be moving some men. So that what did we call them last year? We know we call them the IHOP twins, but the South Georgia Moving Company or the Lowndes County Moving Company, yeah, they're gonna be back. Defensive line. This is where it's gonna get interesting. Because we don't have a lot of proven depth there. But I keep telling you, watch number 90, Mr. Allen. Watch Mr. Allen. He's going to be the anchor. The linebackers, Marcus Vaughn, and then that secondary, my guys, Izzy and Treadwell. Those are going to be that defense. That's the heart and soul of this defense, right? Those are the ones who you're going to be see all fired up, amping them up. And listen, they play at they're on 10. They're going to be on 10 before before the kickoff. And when
Yeah.
they get out there, listen. And also Mr. Booker. Mr. Booker is also going to be locking down that one side of the field. So these are why I think we're going to win. And that's why I say 42-13.
Okay. I like it. So let me ask you some questions. Okay.
Okay.
Um, you talked about the offense. Let me take that off the screen for a second. So you talked about the offensive line. Okay. So last year we had the IHOP twins
Hmm.
with the all you can eat pancake blocks, right?
Yeah.
Will we see that kind of dominant offensive line play tomorrow night against Jenkins?
I think so. I think so. I think they built their reputation,
Okay.
right? Because
Mhm.
we often talk about identity, right?
Mhm.
For years it was Lions was a rough physical football team that's going to control the ball, running. That was and play great defense. That was the identity under Coach Mack. Under Coach Carter, we've had some he's now settling in on his identity,
Yeah.
and a fast physical defense is what you're going to see. Now we flip to the offensive side. I think they found what works for them, and that is a strong physical running game, right? Um, and but you don't have that without a physical offensive line. So it's gonna be pancakes galore. We don't have the IHOP twins because, but I don't know. We'll find another name for them. But
Yeah.
the Lowndes County Moving Company is in
You
business.
know, speaking of you're talking about the Mayflower Moving Company.
Yeah,
Okay. So Wes James coined that offensive line back in 2007, and that was a magical season, going all the way and winning a state championship, dominating North Gwinnett in a state championship game. Okay. So those five plus the rotational guys, six offensive linemen, they were legendary. They were not just good, but they were legendary because we're still talking about them 20
still,
years later, right?
still.
So we're talking kids like Jordan Black, Ed Christian,
Mhm.
Brady Brantley, Ethan Barwick, Lane Grant, Levi Vedas or Vedas. So this year's edition of the Lowndes offensive line, they've got the potential to be good. Do they have it in them to be legendary and be the next Mayflower Moving Company?
They're gonna have to be.
Okay.
They're gonna have to be uh, if they want this season to be successful.
Yeah.
That's just there's no other way
So
around it.
you're saying this season, like it or not, the season rests on the shoulders of the offensive line.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
I
does.
agree with you.
Listen, I don't care what you can have. John Elway, Michael Vick. It doesn't matter if you don't have a line to protect them, right? Then what is it? Then
Yeah.
you have you have nothing. You can have Herschel Walker, Walter Payton, Emmett Smith, Barry Sanders. If you don't have a line to get pushed, then you don't have success.
I agree with
Everything starts right there.
you. Yeah. I agree with you. Listen, every offense is tested. There's going to come a time this season when this offensive line is tested when they're in a tight ball game and their head coach is going to call on them and saying, "This is a tight game. We've got the ball with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're going to march down the field and run it every single play, milk this clock, and put this game away."
Yeah,
Every game, every season has that kind of game, and you're saying this offensive line has the ability to do that.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Like it's body blows, right? Like the body blows aren't the most. If you ever, I'm a big boxing fan, but if you ever watch boxing, the
yeah,
body blows early on are not what they're talking about. But by the time you're in the ninth, 10th, 12th round,
yeah,
and you land enough body blows, you taking the win out literally, and you taking the win out of that team. So when you start to see those pancakes in the second level, right, and you start to see those 5, 4, 7, 6, 5,
yeah,
4, you start to get those runs, you're being effective, and that's what's gonna make or break this team this year.
yeah. Man, when I was playing football for Barry, and yes, we did have a football team. So when I was playing football, Barry, and I would rotate between linebacker and defensive line. I was a versatility player. So you're right, man. One of the hardest things for a defense is when that offensive line just keeps pounding on you. They're kind of
Mhm.
like an ocean tide that just constantly pounds on that shoreline, and eventually the sand gives way to the water,
Yeah,
right? Because of that constant pounding. And when you're playing on that defensive line, and you have an offensive line that's able to pick up 3, 5, 6 yards, man, it starts to wear on you.
yeah. It messes with your psyche. Like the last game I ever played for the Vikings was against Northside Warner Robins,
Yeah,
and they took a they drove right down the field, and it was 3 yards, four
yeah,
yards, three
yeah,
yards, 4 yards, and we couldn't get off of the field. And when I tell you that was the most physical game,
yeah,
one of the most physical games that I've ever been involved in, and it took the steam out of us, and we didn't. I think they held on to the ball for about 7 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And it was just, man, okay, can we get him? And then like what really hurts the most is when you think you got them and they get the first down by about this much, right?
Yeah.
That's what hurts the most. You're like, oh my man. So yeah, it takes the steam out you, and it's a part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Since the game was invented up until now, the offensive line is gonna, you win or lose with your offensive line. So
Okay, so let's put yourself in the mind of the Jenkins defensive coordinator.
mhm,
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and saying he is going to um, he is going to key on Mason Woods and do whatever he can to stop that young man.
yeah,
Who steps up and gives the DC nightmares?
Ashley Thomas. In
Okay.
fact, I don't know who's gonna start. I don't know if it's gonna be Parker or if it's gonna be Robertson.
Yeah.
Don't know, but those two gentlemen, those two young men, they are going to, because they all know they're probably going to stack the box, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But when the play breaks down, those two young men have the ability to to make stuff happen. And when that happens, now you have to kind of keep an eye on this young man, and
Yeah.
probably not stack the box as much. Or even if they do stack the box, now we take those shots and the receivers have to make the play.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
how you loosen it up, right? So,
Yeah. So that's what you mean by throwing when you want to,
mhm,
right?
yeah, to keep it balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we've got a new we've got a new member of the audience tonight, and that's a guy named Matthew Felder, and he's got a message for the Valdosta Wildcats. Apparently, he's a Jones County fan. They're coming down to Martin Stadium tomorrow night, and they're saying Jones County is ready to roll tomorrow versus the Valdosta Wildcats.
And I hope they do.
Come on, Professor, where is your hometown pride?
It's gonna be in Martin Stadium on Norman Drive, right? Uh,
Now, I'm not gonna go as far as the Professor. Now, the difference is probably, yeah, you wore the crimson and white.
yeah,
I didn't. So I've got a little bit more community gusto when I say, listen, I hope the Wildcats beat the stew out of the Greyhounds tomorrow night over there on what's that, Brookwood Drive or whatever that stadium is.
yeah. I mean, if they win, then congratulations. But if they lose, I can't wait to point and laugh. Listen, I'm gonna, yeah, I don't do it as much anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I won't. Let's just say I won't lose any sleep if Jones County comes over here and beats that team that used to be on Forest Street. Not gonna lose any sleep about that. However, me being realistic, I
Okay.
don't expect Jones County to beat to beat that team that used to be on
So
Forest Street.
so listen, this is how much we follow about us football. Matthew Felder is a Jones County manager, and he says the game is at Jones County.
I was at Jones County.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me reframe what I'm saying. I don't expect it to be a long drive back from Jones County to Valdosta.
Yeah.
I just don't. I
Yeah.
just don't. Man, look, as much as I, you
Listen,
know, give them all
no,
kind of crap.
yeah,
Go ahead.
no disrespect to Jones County at all. That's not my
Mhm.
intent for this next statement, but Valdosta by 50.
Might be 57.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Look, Valdosta has some tap.
Yeah,
I said the
they
name.
are loaded.
They have some talent over there. There is some talent over there on that team that used to be on Forest Street. And I've seen these young men develop from the time they were at playing for the Titans and coming up. And that team over there is a good team.
Yeah.
They are a really good team.
Yeah, they're a
And
very dangerous team this year.
yeah, very dangerous. And what's his name? Marquez. He's Super 11. And they
Canal?
got two D1 commits
Yeah.
um playing running back. The only bad thing about it is there's only one ball to go around. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're going to be good.
Coach Trainer makes a very excellent point. He says, uh, every game the Cats win, the more it helps Lowndes.
Hmm.
Uh, if no, every game the Cats win, the more it helps if Lowndes beats them at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. With this new PSR formula, you're exactly right. Thanks for
Hmm.
keeping us straight and honest, Trainer.
Yeah. And listen, nothing would make me more happy is if that team that used to be on Forest Street is undefeated when Lowndes beats them on October the 30th.
I love it.
All right. So
All right. Okay. So, what is the ceiling for this team? Is it region champion? Is it Final Four? Is it Mercedes Benz? Where are we right now?
right now, the ceiling state championship.
Okay. All right. All right.
I think that we have enough talent,
Mm.
and I think we have. I know everybody's calling the defense young, but
Wait,
from
wait,
what
wait.
I've
Not everybody's calling.
everybody, but
Their head
Coach
coach is
Carter,
calling the defense young.
yeah, he's calling them young. But from what I saw, right, that didn't look like a young defense. From
Yeah.
what I saw, from what we saw Friday, right? They came out there, they were fast, they were
Yeah.
physical. Nobody missed assignments. They played a very disciplined ball game.
Sure.
If that continues and Jace comes back, or if one of these quarterbacks develops and progressive throughout the season and they can play solid mistake-free football,
Yeah.
yes, this team has all the ingredients to make a
Mm.
legit state championship run.
Yeah. So while we're talking about Valdosta and other teams in the region, let's kind of not preview, but talk a little bit about other games. Since we're talking about PSR formula, things like that, these early non-region games kind of do matter to us too.
Mhm.
So you've got Camden County at Brunswick. That's an interesting rivalry game out of the gate. Lowndes has a
Mhm.
little vested interest in it. Former Lowndes defensive coordinator Byron Slack is the new head coach there at Brunswick. So Camden County goes up to Brunswick, takes on the Pirates. That's an interesting rivalry game right out of the gate.
Very interesting. And I got to talk to Coach Slack a couple weeks ago, and I asked him how's everything going up there in Brunswick. He said, "Hey, we're starting from ground zero. So pretty much saying, hey, the cover's not bare,
Yeah,
but they are starting from a point to where, hey, we have to implement what we do.
yeah.
What I want this team to be. So, but he seemed pretty confident about his team, and from what I saw I went back and watched a little tape on Camden. That might be an upset. that could be an upset.
I watched the Camden preseason scrimmage that they had against Bowles High School out of Jacksonville. They had to travel down to Bowles because of some quirky Florida High School Association rule that governs there. So they had to travel down there. And I was surprised. I was surprised that. Let me restate this. The hype around Camden is a little bit too soon.
Hmm.
I think they're going to get there, but it's going to take longer than people expect. And I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier this week, and I made this statement. I said, "Listen, they may have an all-star coaching staff that they've assembled during the offseason, but that all-star staff still has to coach Jimmys and Joes,
Yeah.
and the Jimmys and Joes are not quite there yet."
Mm. Mm. And they had some when we went to Camden last year
Yeah,
and watching them. They had size. They had some talent out there. It just wasn't consistent. They weren't playing consistent. So who knows what we're gonna get? I know Chase is real high on Camden
yeah, yeah,
County this year, but from what I saw in that scrimmage, and who knows what we're gonna get?
yeah,
But I will say this: I know Coach Flack's teams are well coached historically, and they don't be surprised if Brunswick beats Camden.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So you got first year head coach against first year head coach.
Hmm.
It's going
Yeah.
to be too funny, not funny, but I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. So another region game that we're looking at is Richmond Hill versus Effingham County. Now they're going to be at home over in Richmond Hill. Beautiful facilities over there. Um, so the reason why I'm interested in this game is Effingham is a quality program. Now, if truth be known, they should be a 7A program, but because of isolation, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
they're a 6A program. So um, I think I'm interested in this game because we kn Richmond Hill's so far away from us. We don't really know what they have, what they don't have.
Yeah.
So this is gonna give us a sneak peek on what the Wildcats of Richmond Hill bring to the table this year.
Yeah. I, I agree. I agree. I'm waiting to see that. But you know what? The game that's got a lot of people's attention is that Thomas County Colquitt game.
Yeah.
You know, that one's a good one. You got Gainesville, Buford, and who else you got? Good Lord, I just had it. We got yeah, that was it. And Hatefield Charter at Lee County. Now that one they're 2A finalists, right, from last year, Hatefield Charter. So they've got some. They might. I don't know what they got returning, but they're a solid program. Not expecting them to beat Lee County,
Yeah.
but I think that might be a good one.
Yeah. So here is the one that everybody is watching for tomorrow night. Colquitt County travels to Thomasville to
Mhm.
take on the Central Jackets. What do you think?
Oh man, I kind of wish we had a bye.
Me too. Me too. Because I want to go see that game.
I kind of wish we had a bye because that's going to be a good one. And historically, listen, that is a rival, right? Because I can remember we had a bye week my senior year. We went down up there to the Hawk Pen, and we watched Joe Burns beat that Colquitt team that was led by Reggie Stansel. And these last 2 years of these last two iterations of Thomas County Central is reminiscent
Yeah.
of that bygone era. And this is gonna be a good it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I guess if this was wrestling, Jim Ross would say it's gonna be a slobber knocker,
a
right?
slobber knocker.
It's
Absolutely.
gonna be a good one.
I'm very interested to see, before Colquitt uh, got their transfer quarterback in, I was going to say, Colquitt had no shot. But I think their quarterback is going to be a game changer for them. Now, that's before Central got their new quarterback.
Exactly right. The quarterback's blocking.
That's right. So I think the depth of Central and the way that Justin Rogers runs that program, he makes no bones about it. He wants to not just beat a team; he wants to beat them to death.
Hmm.
And I think he is out to embarrass Colquitt County tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
I think Colquitt is a prideful program. They've been the kings of Region 1 7A for the longest time, probably for the last decade, right? So they still have a lot of pride in them. And so I expect a close game in the first half and a close game all throughout the third quarter. I expect Central to pull away in the fourth quarter and take this one something like 35-28 or
yeah.
maybe even 35-31.
Yeah, 31-28, something like that. I don't know, it might be 24-17. Who knows? But the one thing about Colquitt County that you can always count on, they're going to have a big offensive line. I mean, they're going to have some skill players.
Yeah.
And their defense historically has been pretty stout. So we're going to see. This is a early test, to say the least, for Colquitt for both programs,
Yeah.
right? So, and honestly, it's at this point in time, like, there's a lot of unknowns as is with every program throughout the state. So we're gonna see, you know, and I wish I could be
Oh, man.
there.
You and me both. You and me both. So you've given your game prediction tomorrow night
Mm,
for the Lowndes Jenkins game, right? So I'm thinking it's going to be Lowndes by as many as Lowndes wants to score tomorrow night.
yeah,
I think it's going to be probably Lowndes 55, Jenkins 10, or Lowndes 55, Jenkins 14.
yeah, something along those lines. I just know, It really just depends when they pull the starters, right? Um, if Lowndes is up by a lot going into the fourth quarter and the starters get in and it starts to take a rest, take off the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
then the score might not be as high. But if he doesn't pull those starters, yeah, it can get easily Lowndes by 50, Vikes
Yeah.
by 50. So
Yeah. So, so that's it. We've done the analysis. We've given our predictions. I'm going to ask you a couple of final questions. Okay.
all right.
Wh- I think we're both on the same page. Lowndes is going to run, run, run tomorrow night. The
Mhm.
question I have for you is how many pass attempts will we actually see against Jenkins? I'm going to give you an over under.
Okay.
Okay. 15.
Over.
You think more than 15 passes tomorrow night? That's what Lowndes is going to do.
Yeah, because I think they're going to play both quarterbacks.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do dual quarterback system. I think we're going to be playing dual quarterbacks for the first 3 or 4 games.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I
Uh,
think. So,
so, so if you think we're going to pass the ball more than 15 times, okay, do you even think it's necessary to throw the ball any against Jenkins?
yes, I do think
Okay.
it's necessary. I think it's necessary for rep's sake, right?
I
Like,
think so. I think we got to take some opportunity, even early in the game. We got to get these quarterbacks ready to get some reps throwing the ball.
yeah, you have to because you don't know. Like, we know Jason's going to be in week one. We don't know when he's coming back, right? And if he doesn't come back, then we got to have quarterbacks that can run this offense, that can run the full gambit, right? We don't. It might be a system like with Marvis and Jace. It might be that kind of system because Jordan Parker seems to be the more effective runner, and Trey Robinson seems to be the more effective passer. But you got both of these offense are capable. Both of these quarterbacks are capable of running the offense. We just don't know. But I suspect if let's say we go up and it's 35-0,
Yeah.
and we've only run 9 plays, then no, we're not going to run. But I expect it to be a very balanced attack.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts on it. I don't think it's necessary for Lowndes to throw tomorrow night to win the game, but my hope is we actually put in some work in our passing game. And what I mean by that, Professor, is to get them some meaningful reps to learn and develop. Because if you learn and develop now, it means better execution in October and November when you
Is-
actually need it.
I'm
Right.
with you. I'm
So
with you.
So if the goal is to win the region and play deep into November and December, I don't think you can do that without a proficient passing game.
Me either. Me either. But keep in mind something that we saw in the scrimmage might see a little bit more of. We had some hitches, some screens, uh, drag route here and there. So some that short passing game, which really can be an extension of your run game. Expect that to happen because if you can get that going early, and like the pass game doesn't have to be 30-yard bombs,
Yeah.
60-yard bombs every time, but you get the little swing bubble screens and halfback in the flats. You can get that going. Yeah, easily I could see us maybe getting around 16, 17 attempts.
Man, I like Waylon Weidinger in the bubble screen game.
Yeah,
I think that's a thing of beauty.
yeah, yeah. Listen, and I'll say this now because you're gonna hear me talk about it later. The key to this game is to get in there, get the win, get out, and get out healthy. Right. If we can stay healthy, because Weidinger is I think Weidinger is going to be an intricate part of this offense. Phelps is going to be there. He's a smaller receiver, has some speed, so
Yeah.
getting him in that short passing game as well causes a lot of issues for our coordinators. So if it just really depends on how aggressive they want to be, and I think Coach Carter is going to want to put them away early. He's going to try. So
Yeah. I think so too. So that's going to wrap up our show tonight. Viking Nation, get there early tomorrow night. Wear your crimson, be loud, and let's start the 26th season the right way. So tomorrow night we got Lincoln, we got Jenkins, we got Lowndes at Martin Stadium opening night. We'll see you at the Concrete Palace. Until next week, may God bless every single one of you. And as always, go Vikings.
Go Vikings.